Hello there, fathers, and welcome to another session of Cause and Effect. And today's topic, I'm going to be discussing how the system is broken. More than one cog of the system, that gear is broken. And in my case, in my little children, Marina is my daughter, but I'm not talking about the 22-year-old anymore. I gave it another shot later in life, and it didn't work out because of the first set of coercion placed upon me by the state. It had such a deep impact on my relationship in a lot of ways that I'll get into in these later videos. But these videos are not only speculation and words, but I back it up with actual reports, forums, proof that this stuff is really going on. So it's not just a fairy tale to people listening. It's all verifiable. Freedom of Information Act. You can look up just about anything that isn't top secret classified at the time or above. So today I want to talk about my children, Marina and Cody, and my wife, that had a lot of problems, more so than just, Nicole. She had anger issues, and she liked to get physically abusive with me. And I know a lot of you fathers, I've heard a lot of guys on job sites talking about it, coming in, guy's got a black eye, and you're like, wow, what's going on? After a while, you think the guy's just getting in fights like Fight Club, and you realize, wow, this old lady's beating him up. And other guys don't really like to hear that too much. Yeah, they don't like to talk about personal problems at work and such. And what's crazy? It's not that I couldn't defend myself against her. It's that I don't hit women. And I don't hit women or girls because my mom was beaten when I was growing up by all the stepfathers that I had. And there was always alcohol, and there was always false pride and gambling involved with it. Or the guy was just a former convict or something that my mom made a poor choice. And I can honestly say that I didn't make the best choices in my life, and I'm still stepping in piles of dung that I should have known not to step into. But I'm working hard in my life. So this is about proof that these are police reports here. These are incident reports, Fullerton Police Department. And that was when my ex-wife, Nicole, hit me so hard she knocked me out in the car. It was pouring rain. I got to get out. And keep in mind, the children are in the car while she's doing this. She was upset. Her grandmother was in the hospital, and we were going down to see her. And she just lost her cool one day and decided that it was okay to hit me. That wasn't the first time. That was the last time that she hit me. This time right here is when I left Nicole's. I was trying to go to work. I left her because she had punched me in the face once before. And that was down in a courthouse in Orange when I was signing papers because I was proud. I wanted a family. I wanted to be a dad. And I signed over my name to her son that she gave birth to. I married her when she was already pregnant. And it's a big mistake in some ways and a blessing in others because I did get to be part of a child's life and give that child love. And I was there, thank God I was there. I was the only one washing the bottle nipples. This woman, Nicole, did not cook. If it wasn't microwavable, she wasn't cooking it. That's what she told everybody. Now, at the time, I went down to the court, and I said, you know what? But I was proud, and I was so grateful to have my children. And I went down there, and I signed over the name, and the judge asked if there were any objections. We got our court date, and they all applauded, and it was just such a victorious day. And then we went down to the parking structure, helping her fill out some forms, and she decided to hit me again because she was frustrated. She has a problem with bipolar, and not schizophrenia, but bipolar, so impulsive actions, and they turn into physical force on my face easily. So, and here's another police report. Well, this one here, though, this is when I left her and I went to my sponsor's house because she loved to accuse me of doing amphetamines, and I was this big drug addict, drug king, and of course I'm thin in nature and I'm skinny, and everybody's going to buy into that, but on an initial quote. But that day she decided to block me in the car, to block in my only transportation to get to work, and I lost my job over it that day. I had to call the Stanton Sheriff's Department, have them come out, ask her to move her car so I could go to work. But this is hours into the deal when they finally show up, and you know. And then there's Santa Ana. There's Santa Ana when this is after she got kicked out of a clean and sober living environment that she was in. And because I'm a veteran, I was able to get her into a program called Mercy House. And Mercy House is a federally funded program, and it was a wonderful, safe haven for her and the children. They had houses and playground, and I lived right down the alleyway from her in a relatively new condominium that I shared a room with. And safe environment, you know. But she had been kicked out of 2 of those homes prior to me getting her into the one down in Santa Ana with Mercy House. But I had to call the police on that day. I didn't actually call them. I was just so tired of it. I didn't want, you know, people are going, wow, you're calling the cops on your own wife, and nobody really understood the situation. And of course, you know, we went to counseling services, and I paid for $75 an hour for, you know, these guys to tell me that Nicole had issues and bipolar or whatever, and you know, needed counseling. It didn't matter how much money I spent. I'll tell you why. Because the day I went to court after Nicole filed for divorce on me, no, that was another time. Let's see, where's that? This might have been the report where the night I was at my sponsor's house at Narcotics Anonymous, the 12-step program, and his family. And the next night, I had a half Ironman triathlon at the Navy SEAL base in Coronado called the Super Frog, or there's Super SEAL, Super Frog triathlon. You got to be in pretty decent shape to compete in any triathlon, much less something as tough as running in the sand with a bunch of Navy SEALs around you. So that day, you know, the paramedics show up, police kick in the door of my sponsor's house, and they run my pupils for dilation, my blood pressure. They're doing everything they can, and they realize that Nicole lied about the whole thing. But it didn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why again. The day I ended up in court in front of Commissioner Krieber, let's see here, and that is the people of the state of California. I'll find it here. Well, anyway, there it is. I was ordered by this almighty commissioner, a commissioner now, not a judge. And keep in mind, if you have a commissioner, you don't have to accept it. You can wait until you get a judge. That's an important thing to know. But I got sentenced, in spite of all the evidence, to domestic violence classes, anger management classes. And 22 weeks of anger management. See that? Oh, wow, there it is. 22 weeks of anger management. And I got also the great honored privilege of getting to pay now to see my own children under supervised visitation. Now, keep in mind, the kid right before me that Krieber, Commissioner Krieber at the time, saw and heard his case on, he threw a skateboard through someone's back windshield. And he got 13 weeks of anger management. Understandable. I got up next with all the police reports showing Nicole had punched me, physically hit me. Therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists that she was referred to said that she needed medication and that I didn't need medication. It didn't matter because I got 22 weeks of anger management. Then, mighty almighty commissioner, you know, representing the state, deeming what's best for my children, deeming what's best, keep in mind, for my children. Okay? I marry her when she's pregnant. I do all the washing, all the cooking. Keep in mind, I got a job, $25, $30 an hour the whole way through. I went back to community college at Fullerton, completed like 15, 20 units in mathematics and foreign language, and doing everything I can to promote my family. He gives legal, full legal, and physical custody to this woman. Sentences me to anger management, which costs me money, around $50 a class. Then, if I want to see my kids, I have to pay to see them. Well, being I got a disc, I'm in and out constantly. I'm always striving to work because I don't want to live on an entitlement program if I don't have to. The nation's already in debt. I want to see my kids. I want to be part of their life. I want to be healthy. I strive toward that. But keep in mind, this stuff happens. It's enough to drive an individual to suicide. And if you're thinking about that kind of stuff, don't. Because it's not worth it. Life is wonderful. It can be excellent. Never give up. 22 years of fighting, and I finally saw my first child, who was concealed from me for 21 years. Concealed. Couldn't find her. She kept moving around. But that book, that law, isn't on the books anymore as an arguable defense. That's what my attorneys told me at R&S Law Group in Irvine. So, just know that, you know, if you're a veteran out there like myself, or you're a father, I was honorably discharged from the Navy's nuclear submarine program. And it doesn't matter who you are, or where you've been, or what you've done, or how many degrees you have, or how nice of a guy you are. The state favors the woman. It's unfortunate, but hopefully this video will help promote lobbying to get new legislation in place that will protect the property of the child. You know, the natural law of nature is that slavery cannot exist. It can't exist because I have a right. Each individual has a right to their own intellectual property. Therefore, if the state steps in and says, this is what we deem is best for your child, and they force it upon that child to think a certain way and to act a certain way, then they've, in essence, the cause and effect of this whole thing is they have enslaved the child. They've imprisoned him into only a certain format of thinking and stripped him of his free will and his 14th Amendment right before he was even of legal age to accept it or to know what it meant. So, but keep your head up and just know this going into it, that the state favors the woman, even if she smoked cigarettes all the way through both pregnancies. Even if her character exhibits things that are less than favorable or less than beneficial for the children, the state favors the woman.